Hi, this is Adam with Small Town Machine Shop. Today, we've got some new tooling for the shop and some other stuff. This is kind of a combined video over the last couple months. Except for this stuff was just last week. I talk a lot to Cody from Hidden World Forge. Me and him, you know, trade stuff back and forth. I give him some machines. We let each other know when other machines are available, stuff like that. So this is a combined video of all the stuff I've got from him recently. Now, for all this stuff, I've only got $200 into it. So start out over here. This is milling machine stuff. Got a Kingman White uh, adapter. I think that's what it's called. That's super cool. Get some stuff for that for the Comet mill. They buy this off him. Big straight shank boring head. It's a where is it? Maxwell. Very cool. Paying for that. Pay him $100 for that. And these are all a nice big face mill. Probably 5 inches. Min mill holders, boring bar, two 50 taper stuff. All this 50 taper stuff will fit the Van Norman and the Brown and Sharp mill. That stuff's super cool and always handy to have. And just recently, and stuff we'll be going through together here, got these 3 boxes. A nice big number 5 taper drill bits, some other drill bits, and some drill bits that need a lot of work, and some good cutters there. What I'll do is set you up on the tripod, and we'll go through all these boxes. These are, I paid for these. There was $110. It gave me these other 2. Now, a lot of these need work on them. But I have a way I will show you. You come across drill bits with bad tangs and stuff like that. There's a way to fix them. Or there's a couple ways. But I'll show you how I do it. Especially if they're nice bits. Bigger, they're typically more expensive. So yeah, you get the tripod set up. We'll start going through this. Might be a little bit of a longer video. So please bear with me, but there's some cool stuff in here. Very cool stuff for the machine shop. I'll bring you back. Okay, first we'll start with the big box of bits. The good ones. These are ones you had duplicates of. Now got nice tangs on them. Here's a 2 7/8 National. Here's a unmarked one. I'd say that's probably 1 3/4 if I had to guess. Three fluter needs a little bit of grinding on her. 2 1/16. And I'll do a video showing on how on a big grinder to sharpen these. This is like a 10-inch wheel grinder. And also have that 3-phase drill bit, to a dedicated drill bit sharpener. Just waiting for some wheels for it. And then we can go try that thing out. The 2 3/8. Nice one. The 2 3/16. Nice stubby. Tangs are all good. The LeBlanc lathe has a 5 Morse taper tailstock. It's a hollow tailstock. There's no tang holder. It's a 2 3/16. And it holds nice. I like these stubby ones. There's a Can't read it. Probably 2.5 though. 2-inch. But to devise a new holder for these on the back wall, 1 11/16. Inch 9/16. Another one of these. I'm not sure what these ones with this collar on them. I mean, the collar is not removable. I'm not sure. That's 1 and 33/64. Last, we have an 1 3/4. Very nice, very sharp drill bit. So yeah, very nice for filling out the collection of bigger drills. I really didn't have a lot of true number 5 drills. There's a number 4 back there. But these will fit also on the Archdale drill press. So I've been looking for bigger drills. I really need to get more of them. So yeah, that, and I paid that. That was $100 for those. Very cool. So we'll move to the next box. I'll bring you back. Okay, now we're going to look at some drill bits that need some work, but we can make them perfectly usable. Here's one with a, it's a little chipped up there. Tang is a little rough, as you see. It's been spun a lot. Now this is a number 4. Morse taper, I believe. Yeah. 4-3. It's hard to tell when they're all sitting around. One way you can fix these, and remember, it's a drill bit. Drill bits don't drill super accurate holes. So when they are bad like this, and you think they might slip, what I do is, because most of my stuff, these bigger ones, are just going to go in the number 5 Morse taper things. You can get number 3 to 5 or 4 to 5 sleeve adapters, taper adapters, pretty cheaply. And, for a bit like this, which I, got plenty of life left on it. This is probably 1 3/4. For a little bit that adapter will cost, clean this up. Put some of the green, I think the press fit Loctite on this. Shove it into a sleeve. You have a dedicated tool. Now, I know some of you are going to scoff at that and think it's the stupidest thing you ever heard. But then that Loctite, and there's still some taper here to grab, will fill it in and it will not turn. And then it'll just be, slide right into your machine. That's an easy way, it costs a little bit of money, to fix these. If the drill bit doesn't need a whole lot more work. The normal grinding will fix all this. So that's one way to go about it. That's a good bit. Another one, here's a bigger one, probably probably at least a 2. Same thing, we can put a sleeve on that guy. Like this one with no tang, no tang whatsoever. But the taper's really good. This would probably hold just fine if you weren't drilling something super hard or feeding it super aggressively. But again, just you can throw a sleeve on there. We can make a lot of these very usable. This one's been modified. We'll see about that one. It's 1 7/64. Especially these bigger bits. If these were 9/16 or 1 inch or 1.5 even, it wouldn't be worth messing with them really. No tang. You see it got hot somewhere where someone tried to fix it. Something. But this is a 2 3/4 inch USA made bit. We're going to save this guy. Someone obviously did some odd work to it to try to retain it in some kind of holder. You know, you sometimes you make do with what you got for how little you'll use a bit that size too. Use it a couple times a year. A buddy of mine actually puts the sleeves on and drills through them and puts set screws. I don't like that. I don't like that method. It works for him. Here's a 1.5 inch. End's good. You know, the tank's twisted. Clean that guy up. A 2-inch or a Morse taper boring bar. That'd be cool. I'll find some of these. You think that would have stalled the machine, you know, unless it was a big machine, it would have stalled the machine out before you bent it that bad. And this has a sleeve on it. A sleeve that doesn't look like it's down all the way. But if it's true that that sleeve twisted, this is still on there. You know, it shows you the holding power of these. That's a good bit, and that's a 1 7/8 Morse. We'll try to knock this old sleeve off it and see. We'll do a video on fixing this stuff because I know tooling is expensive. It's very expensive. Machines are cheap. It's this stuff that adds up. And you can find drill bits with bad tanks and stuff in the scrapyard. So I want to show you guys, especially, you know, you're just getting the tooling, ways you can make this stuff work for you. Again, it's a twist drill. It's not gonna, you know, a 2-inch twist drill is not gonna drill dead nuts on, you know, 2-inch hole. So you work within the accuracy of the tool you are using, and Loctiting, or actually another way is you can heat the sleeve and get it on there a little bit more, and that when it shrinks, it'll be more of an interference fit. Stuff like that will not dramatically affect the accuracy of these. So, sorry about that. This is 1 inch and 11/32. Again, she's been spun a bit. We can make that usable. Look up the cost of some of these bits, you know, and you'll easily see some of these are worth working on. Now, this one needs a lot of grinding. It looks like someone has welded onto the tang. Yeah, it's been spun. I kind of hate to see I think that's a 3 Morse taper. I'd hate to see the inside of the drill that was using those. These all came from Cody at Hidden Forge, and his drill has a 5 Morse taper like mine. So it wasn't that machine that's clapped out. This one's been, looks like someone was, grinding this on a bench grinder. Tell by the heat marks in there. It's really faceted. We'll work on that one. Pull these out. I'll stop if there's any ones that are, again, they tried to make some kind of retention thing. These ones all seem like I'll be able to get them going. Some of them need a fair bit of grinding. But all these ones, especially if they're over 1.25 inches, they're worth it. Like these ones I probably won't bother with, but a lot of you guys have smaller machines, so I will fix a few of these. Then we'll do some tests. You know, so that's a further one. You know, there's another 15 or so we'll be able to make usable out of those. That's cool. Now, the next box has the ones that were destined for except for the horizontal milling cutters. We're kind of destined for the scrapyard. Some of them are really rough, and especially really rough straight shank drills. It's hard to spend time on them, but we'll go through it. I'll bring you back. Okay, now we got 15 or so horizontal milling cutters. By the way, if any of you are looking to get rid of any horizontal milling cutters, especially like 1 inch, inch and a quarter arbors, that size stuff, I'm always looking for some. Same with 50 taper tooling. Yeah, if you guys have any of this stuff laying around you're never going to use, please send me an email and let's work something out. I am really looking to build up my supply of this. So there's just a lot of cutters, steel sharp, as Boromir would say. A few of these are odd cutters. This is not exactly sure what that's for cutting. These one needs cleaned up, but they're all still sharp. Got some life left in them. Very cool. Smaller like slitting saws. It says Germany on it. Bigger slitting saw. It's a National Tool and Drill. Just your run-of-the-mill milling cutters. Used to have a lot of these. So add those to the collection. And let's get on to the last of the drill bits. I'll bring you back. Okay, now we're going to be working on this box here. We use this as the keeper pile, and this as the maybe later pile. Kind of running out of room. Okay. Now in here, there's a lot of straight shank drills. Now the thing with, you find this a lot with especially smaller ones like this, is that they're bent. It's very common to have these have a fair amount of run out in the end of them. Even when holding them like in a collet. So, it's hard for me to tell you this is a good one right now when I'd have to chuck it up. That one doesn't seem bad. Especially the longer they are, the more apt they are to be bent. And these just have a higher tendency to slip, of course, as well. These ones don't look so bad. Where someone's taken a drill, welded it to an extension. That's always dubious when stuff like that goes on. This one, I can tell from looking at it that it's bent. One's brazed onto a shaft. Oh, we'll clean that. That's pretty rusty. We might clean that up and check it out. Here's a 2 Morse taper to I think a 3 or a 4. Looks shop made, if I had to guess. Oh, check that out. A bushing for broaching. That's what they probably were using it for. Another horizontal milling cutter. And let's see, I'm not going to pick through all this stuff. There's a lot of... this is another way to fix drill bits. You can braze them. I don't like that because the heat... brazing is not so bad, but I like the taper to hold it. I don't know if that little bit of heat would pull this one way or the other. Again, it's a drill bit. It's not a boring bar. It's not a reamer. Here's one with no tang. We can make that work. Inch and 3/8. Welded a tang back on it. Someone was really getting into something with these bits. This is the highest concentration of spun bits and damaged tangs I've come across. That one's got a pretty sharp angle on it. It's a good thing I do. You're sitting on the back of the blonde lathe. It's a good thing a lot of stuff I do is short. Makes an excellent table until I find a place for all these. Again, broken tang. This is getting to the point where I probably wouldn't buy a sleeve. I'd probably just, because those bits are pretty common and cheap, and they come in every lot, it seems. Yeah, this one's bent. Good size bit. Okay, instead of, there's still tons of bits in there. Let me kind of pick through here real quick, see if there's anything that catches my eye. Here's a straight shank with an extension welded on it. This, for really reaching in there. I would doubt that is straight and it's been spun. But sometimes for a job, you have to do stuff like that. Here's a round stock. We're using it as like an end mill holder. And it is bent. This one needs a lot of grinding. By the time you grind that out, there won't be much left of it. And it looks, the tang's interesting on there. They're welded on one. I'll check these before I get rid of them. Like here's a 49/64 welded and turned. Those are relatively straight. Might be worth it. There's a boring bar. Keep that. That'd be handy. Stuff like that's always handy. There's a mouse nest. There's actually a dead mouse. We won't be keeping the dead mouse. Here's a tap brazed onto a square shank, covered in the back half of that dead mouse. There will be some hand washing going on after this. That's real bad. Tang someone cut a slot into for retention. At least I believe so. I've never seen one from the factory like that. But I could be wrong. My bigger bits. Again, these are like the, like silver and Deming bits you'd buy. But, it's hard to, when a bit's this big, it's hard to keep these from bending. We'll go through them. I've only gone through about half of that box. We've already got a few keepers in there. I'm going to go through it the rest of the way. Some more. Off all these long ones in there. I'm really interested to check those out. They're flat bottoming bit. Some of these aren't, wow. Look at that. I don't know what they were trying to accomplish there. Unless that was build-up. Okay, let me go through here. And I'll give a final overview of what we got. Because that dead mouse in there is really grossing me out. And everything's touching it in there. So some washing of stuff has to occur. So yeah, I'll bring you back. Okay, so here's everything in the haul. The arbors, big face mill, boring head, 50 taper stuff, big drill bits, milling cutters, big drill bits. Then these are the ones I'm going to clean up. Now, a lot of these I kept for teaching aid purposes to show you how to, grind them and stuff like that. So some of those would normally be thrown away. You got about 20 milling cutters. These long ones, I'm going to check them because they may come in handy. And so I'll mess around with these. There's the stuff that's total garbage. But yeah, we'll mess around with these a bit. Everything in here, for the most part, will get cleaned up. I'm going to have to really change my setup and find a better way to organize all my drill bits, especially my bigger stuff. But again, I got all this from Cody from Hidden World Forge. I'll try to post a link to his channel in the description if I can figure out how. Yeah, very cool. So over the course of the last couple months, I got all this from him. It was only $200. Big help out for the shop. This is Adam from Small Time Machine Shop. Please comment, like, and subscribe, and thanks for watching.